get a lot of questions on hybrids. How do you hit a hybrid? Do you hit it like an iron or do you hit it like a fairway wood? So what I'm going to do is just kind of explain a few things to you on how you should mentally go about approaching this club. So what I have in my bag is a 17-degree hybrid. Technically, when you start getting into those lofts, really what you're talking about is it's almost a 3-wood, 5-wood. I mean, this is kind of an old 1 or 2 iron loft. So the question is, do I hit it like an iron or do I hit it like a fairway wood? And, you know, frankly, my answer really is, well, let's see. Which one do you do better, right? So for you watching, really it's going to be a case of try both and see which works better for you. The question, however, might be is how do you hit an iron, right? And how do you hit a wood? So what I'm going to do is just kind of walk through a couple of things that you want to try with your hybrids. There are so many different manufacturers out there. Some of them have a weighting in the backs, others have adjustable weighting, others have an adjustable head for you to be able to maneuver and try out. This particular one has a lot of weight in the back. I can show you right here. We've got titanium and tungsten screws in the back of the head. It does have an adjustable hosel so that I can make an adjustment there on loft and a little bit of lie angle as well. So I can tell you that if you're going to try to just step up and make a swing and hit it, I would probably say that your standard iron swing is going to be the one that you're going to produce more consistently. So let's start with that. So if you step up to hit an iron, take your stance, right? One of the things that you should be trying to accomplish at least a little bit is a little bit of a divot, right? So if I hit down, I want to try to create a divot if in fact I'm making more of an iron swing. Really what it comes down to as you're preparing to hit the shot and considering it as an iron is more or less your ball position. So if you play an iron, you're going to be playing the ball position just slightly left of center. So one good thing I like to have my students do is take their setup, put the club down, and set the club right down here between their feet. When it's right here between their knees like that, you want to line up your toes so that it's now perpendicular to or parallel to that shaft. Then what you're going to do, if you take an equal stance on either side, right and left, what's going to happen is that shaft is going to be situated right there between your feet, and the ball will be just slightly forward of that center position. That's a great starting point for a lot of iron shots. A lot of people would consider a wood ball position to be a little bit further forward. The reason for that is because if it's back here more in the middle, it's a little bit more of a descending attack angle on the ball. And then if it's further forward, you have a greater chance of sweeping through and kind of picking it clean. So I would say that if you take a lot of divots in your normal iron swing and you want to try the hybrid shot, well, I would just bring it right back to where your irons are, hit down on it, and go ahead and take a divot, right? So if I'm in this position, I'm gonna actually set up over here so that you can see. All right, I'm gonna try to take a nice divot. All right, that was struck down on, got some good trajectory. Now the divot that I'm looking at here is deep enough, right? I can pick up the grass that I just hit, and I can actually touch a little bit of the soil. But I haven't dug a huge ditch. You don't really want to dig a trench out with any divot anyway. But that's definitely more of a descending blow. The sweeping swing would simply come from positioning the ball a little bit more forward. So what I would do is I would ask you, what do you normally do? If you take huge divots every time with a 9-iron, then I'm going to suggest you take your hybrid, hit down on it and take a divot and see how that ball reacts. If you normally pick everything clean with a 9-iron and flight it up in the air, well, I'm going to say go ahead and pick it clean with the hybrid as well. So here's how I do that. All I'm going to do is take my setup and put the ball a little bit further forward in my stance, And then instead of kind of picking my arms up and hitting down on it, I'm going to go ahead and round out my swing a little bit more, kind of like a driver. So here's what that swing looks like. Right, a lot more shallow. And really all I did is just kind of sweep that grass. No real divot there. So if you're looking at the question of how do I hit my hybrid, well, I'm going to say hit it as consistently as you can. If you already have a consistent move, let's use that. Let's not try to reinvent it. If the outcome is not what you want, you might want to look at modifying your entire swing or at least parts of your setup to effect a change. So hopefully that will help you at least go down a fine-tuning path to figure out exactly what type of swing you want to put on your hybrid.